Okay, so we typically do videos on YouTube, so I'm just switching them over so that way it doesn't cut me off. So, ways to improve our cholesterol. Number one is get your freaking calories under control. Okay, you have to make sure you're eating the appropriate amount of food per day. If you're eating in excess, you are going to have excess of stuff in your body. Whether that's good fat, bad fat, sugars, not sugars, proteins, not proteins, whatever. If you just eat a bunch of crap, you're going to have a bunch of crap floating around in excess. So, if you have any cholesterol issues, you need to control your overall caloric intake. That is by far and large the first thing you need to do. The second thing you need to do is be freaking active. Get moving around. Okay? Those are the two biggest contributors. It's not, what the percentage of fat versus, like unsaturated versus saturated fats you have in your diet. It's how much freaking fats are you eating in general in your diet. Okay? And then you need to move around and be active. You need to use your body. Okay? You need to use the machine that you got. So those are by far the two first things you need to do. Okay? Make sure your caloric intake is under control and make sure you're being active. Okay? So the next thing you want to look at is out of the fats that I'm eating, am I avoiding polyunsaturated fats? Yes. Okay, good. Now, am I having 2/3 or mostly the monounsaturated fats as my food sources? If that's a yes, then you're doing well. Okay? So you can have some saturated, but you only want that to be a third, or a smaller percentage. You want most of your fats coming from the monounsaturated fats. Okay? And again, the monounsaturated fats are our animal meats, so like beef, fish, that kind of stuff, avocado, olive oil, egg yolks, nuts. So those are the main sources of fats you want to have in your diet. Okay? And now, being active, resistance training, lifting weights actually has a better effect on cholesterol and overall blood value control than cardio alone. Okay? When you move your muscles help burn up more shit. That's what helps, okay? And then also there's a ton of benefits to increasing metabolism over time. So by far and large, lifting weights is significantly, ridiculously better than pure cardio. So aerobic cardio where you go outside and walk around, that's just called being alive, by the way. So if you go out for a walk, you're alive. Congratulations. So I am being a bit of a jerk right now, but that's not really exercise. So I know that sounds so mean to people. If you haven't previously been active to where walking actually is an increase for you, then yes, please get to walking. But the second you can walk, you can probably lift weights. And that's actually significantly more effective. If you don't know how to do it correctly, get a personal trainer. Okay, you're going to spend more money on a Friday night going out to dinner than you would hiring a personal trainer for 1 hour. And that personal trainer can show you enough in 1 hour to help you for the rest of your damn life. Okay? So please, give yourself some value and self-worth and hire a trainer. Have them teach you how to lift weights correctly for your body type and your abilities. Okay? You invest into 1, 2, or even 3 sessions and you should know enough to know how to work out at home. You can buy some dumbbells at home under $100. Hell, you can get a home gym under $50. Okay, there's things called hip circles, which are like a stretchy band you can use to train your legs. You can buy some lightweight dumbbells, from Amazon or Walmart or whatever. But you can put together a home gym for under $100, and you can get a trainer to show you in 1 or 2 sessions how to exercise with that equipment. Okay, so like I said, all you got to do is skip going out to eat once or twice a month for 1 month, and you have enough to make that stuff work. So please, it's not limiting. Like, there's no financial limit. Okay, on this stuff. It's just your perception of that being true. We just don't want to do it. And we're using finances as an excuse. So, resistance training is by far better. Control your overall caloric intake. So, what you want to do is basically just eat healthy, be active, try not to be fat. Okay, if you lower your body fat, your cholesterol will improve. Our body just runs better when we're lean. Okay? So when you get rid of the excess, when you get rid of things that cause added stress, added inflammation, pain in our joints, there's no need for us to be carrying around 50, 60, 70, 80 extra pounds on our body. So if you have heart disease issues, if you have cholesterol issues, get your body fat percentage down. Okay? And that would just be by controlling your caloric intake and by trying to be active. And resistance training is significantly better than cardio. So control calories, lift weights, and done. That's it. Okay? So you don't even have to get into, are my fats 1/3 saturated, 2/3 unsaturated. That helps, but it doesn't help if you're still overeating your calories. It doesn't help if you do no exercise whatsoever. So sometimes people get lost in the weeds of the details and they're missing the bigger picture, which is just eat healthy and move around. So if you eat healthy and move around, it'll take care of most of what you can control outside of your genetics. So like we said, there is some example of genetics. So every time I get blood work done and they find out my HDL is low, I get told I need to exercise 3 or 4 times a week and eat more fish. And then I tell them I own a gym, you dumbass. I exercise way more than 3 times a week. And usually they're laughing when they tell me this. But that's all doctors really know. Doctors have no education on nutrition, okay, other than like what protein might be, or what carbs are or what fats are. But they have absolutely no nutrition knowledge in which they should be actually recommending nutrition programming or nutrition diets. So doctors 100% should not be telling you nutrition advice. They don't know what they're talking about. That's what registered dietitians and nutritionists are for. Okay? So, so I'm an example where every time I go, I get told, I need to exercise more and eat more fish because my HDL is low. So that's something that, like, even though I do exercise, even though I do eat healthy foods, I'm still going to have genetically low HDL. And that's it. That is what it is. That's what it was for my dad. That's what it might have been for his dad. So I'm trying to control as much as I can. To some degree, I will admit that I could do a better job, of course. But there is going to be some just genetic involvement, some genetic role that you can't control. But of what you can control, why not the hell? Why not control it? Okay? So you can do something about it. So why not do something a little bit? Do something enough. Okay? So put some effort in, see what results you get. If you get results for it, maybe that'll motivate you to put more effort in. Okay? So there's hopefully some helpful information and a little bit of background about cholesterol and dietary fats. So dietary fats are not the worst thing in the world. You absolutely should not just avoid all fat in your diet. They're actually necessary for, like we said, hormone health, vitamin D production, helps with digestion, with the production of bile, does a whole bunch of other stuff too. But it's healthy for us to have fats in our diet. We just have to make sure we have the right amount of fats and the right type of fats. And again, you want to focus mostly on monounsaturated fats, which is like most animal meats, avocado, olive oil, fish, like egg yolks, nuts. You want to have that stuff. You can have some saturated fats, and they're actually the healthiest ones to cook with, which is like coconut oil and butter. Okay, you just want to cook with them but not have excess of them. And then you want to really, really, really try hard to avoid polyunsaturated fats, which are corn oil, canola oil, and soybean oil. Okay, so hopefully this was helpful. If you have any extra information, if you have any extra questions, or you would like more detailed information about this, shoot us an email to brutalirongym@gmail.com. And we'll be happy to kind of dive into more help. I can send you, video resources or things that I've kind of learned from, and give you a way to look into this even more if you'd like on your end. Okay? But hopefully this was a good introduction, give you some good information to kind of get your brain kick-started and thinking. So, if you like this information, you can find more from us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Brutal Iron Gym. Also, if you like the podcast, please, please, please share the podcast. Okay, it does help, and the more people we help, the happier the world will be. And if you have any questions, feedback, or suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. So the podcast is for you. So just like this person sent in questions and they wanted to learn more about, we would love to know anything you want to learn about, and we'll try to always include it, get you the answer if we can. Okay? And you can tell us what you want to learn about at our email at brutalirongym@gmail.com. As always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening.